Good afternoon. I'm State Representative Lisa Hernandez. I'm also the co-chair for the Latino Caucus. We are here today to put out a statement on behalf of the Latino Caucus on the governor's budget address. Last year marked a historic moment for working families in Illinois, and we're ready to continue building on the progress by ensuring our communities get the fair share of funding. We are encouraged that the governor's proposal echoed our values by having investments in education, human services, public safety, and ensuring the accurate count of our communities in the 2020 census. In order to have the true equity for all Illinoisans, we need a balanced budget that allocates additional revenue to provide our local schools with more funding than just the minimum that they need to reach adequacy, to make health care and child care more accessible, to invest in affordable housing, and to ensure the safety of our families. While we have made great strides to protect immigrant communities, much more remains to be done to provide Illinois with the tools it needs to fight back against our bigoted president. So it is with great urgency that the vacancy in the Office of New Americans is addressed. We look forward to working with the governor to ensure we have an all-inclusive immigrant rights office that works to protect and educate families about the rights as immigrants in this country. With me, I have some of the members of the Latino Caucus who would like to share some other thoughts.
Good afternoon. My name is Teresa Ma. I represent Illinois' 2nd District, and I am a member of the Latino Caucus, given that I have a very diverse district with more than 50% Latino population. And I was encouraged to hear the governor's proposals, although we do need to work together with the governor in the coming months to make sure that the input from the General Assembly and members of the public get incorporated into the final budget that will pass by the end of May. It was encouraging to hear about the proposals in the governor's budget for quality, affordable health care, expanded opportunities for early childhood education, affordable child care, and adding investments so that we can provide a world-class education for the students in our state from early childhood all the way through higher education. I'm encouraged to hear about the opportunities for job training partnerships between community colleges and private sector businesses that will prepare workers for high wage careers, and also the addition of $14.5 million of census outreach money to help those of us that represent communities with large, hard-to-count populations. We were able to approve $29 million in last year's budget, but there continues to be work that will need to be done in the new fiscal year to make sure that every single person in our districts will be counted, and every single person in the state to ensure that we get future funding from the federal government. And many of us represent districts with large, hard-to-count populations, including the suburban areas that need additional help. And so there are lots of encouraging proposals in the budget, and I look forward to working with the governor and making sure that the budget we pass in May is the best one for all of our communities. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Hernandez. I represent the 83rd District in Aurora and North Aurora. And I am also looking forward to working together with my colleagues and the governor on issues that are important to our families, especially with the political climate that we have now. It is important to continue supporting and protecting the community that we represent, especially the children that are now growing up in a climate that is really dangerous to see that their families are being separated. This is why we need to continue supporting bills that would protect them and also increase the success they have in the future along with others with them. Thank you.
Go ahead. So, in closing, we are grateful for the progress we have made. We certainly know that 2019 was, for many, a historical year, but we still know we have a lot more work to do. As the new chair of Adoption and Child Welfare, I'm incredibly grateful to see that there will be an increase in funding for the agency. I want to make sure that we're working and partnering with them to make sure that every single dollar that is spent is about the child welfare, so that we continue to see children going back to their parents, children being supported, but more importantly, children protected in the state of Illinois. In closing, as a Guatemalan American, I have to say that I wish I would have heard something around immigration. And while I didn't, I want to reiterate what our leader has said this afternoon. It is incredibly important that we not only talk about issues of immigration, particularly when we see where we are at a federal level, but that we are investing in it. We have the Office of New Americans Initiative that has been vacant since it was announced. We look forward to working with the governor to urgently ensure that an appointment is made and that we use this office as a place not just for policy, but to make sure that every single person that lives in the state of Illinois knows that in this state, we are not only welcoming, we are supportive, and we're going to ensure that our families are kept together and are supported at all levels, from housing to education to public safety. So we're grateful for the work we have, but we're not cynical. We also know that we have a lot more to do, and we're looking forward to working with the governor so that the 20% of Illinoisans that are Latino, we will see in the census, have their fair share at the table. And that's what we stand for, and that's what we look for when we talk about equity. Thank you.